Scottish folk maybe?
I do quite like, yeah, so I think because I was brought up like around bagpipe music and things like that, I'm into trad music, so it's like kind of Scottish and Irish trad music and country music are my main
Welcome back to the Moho Sessions number 6. Although we've kind of went a wee bit, we've put the third one out first, so this is probably going to be number
5.
5?
No.
Anyway, this is artist number 6 that we have invited into our very tight quarters. What do you think of the accommodations?
very
It's very We have Erin Ponsonby here, who is a UK pop country singer or something. Is that where you're placing yourself? Because I know genre
country
can be
pop.
I know genre can be a very tense subject.
Yeah, I think there's so many different genres of country as well, and there's different avenues. But yeah, I would say country pops.
So for those who don't know you very well, or those who think, oh, who's this? Do you want to tell the audience a little bit about you and your kind of, I suppose, introduction into music? And then a question I'm now adding in is the first song you ever wrote, and can you remember what it was called?
The first song I ever wrote, mine. I think I was only about 16 when I wrote that. But it's just quite a childish song, I would say. Just obviously my first kind of writing aspect. But then my second song was actually Want Me To, which was my first single. So yeah, it was good that I managed to get that released. But yeah, so I'm from Clydebank. I've been gigging since 2015, I think it was. My first gig was through DF Concerts in the Garage Attic Bar, and I supported Into the Arc. So yeah, that was good. That was kind of my first taste into the industry and things like that. But I had always sang. I liked musicals and things when I was younger, and a bagpiper as well. And I'd done Highland dancing, so music has always been in my life. So yeah, when I was in like 3rd year at school, I started teaching myself guitar, and my aim was to start accompanying myself to sing so that I could then potentially do gigs, because I used to go to gigs and things, and I thought that's what I want to do when I'm older. So yeah, that's how I kind of got into that. And just through that first gig that I did with Into the Arc, I just started doing like open mics and just getting onto other support slots. Yeah, and this is where I am now.
So from then to now, what's your biggest achievement been, and what are you learning over the course of the process? Because it is a process and there's a lot to learn. Plus we've been talking with other artists, and like, it's not just now the music and the songwriting. You have social media, you have Spotify, you have Instagram, and that's like a full-time job. So there's like so much that you as an artist need to do. So how are you kind of navigating that, and what are you learning?
I think initially, so when I released Want Me To, my friend's actually, he's that electronic music producer, so he helped me record that, and that was kind of like my first kind of taste of recording and releasing music. So he helped me a lot with that. But then I ended up going to college for music, so I did my HNC and HND in Greenock, and then I went to uni in the University of Highlands and Islands in Perth. So I was there for my 3rd year and 4th year, and then that's where my Little Town EP came from, because I had to write, record and release an EP as part of my uni project. Yeah, and just kind of, I've just been learning like as I'm going, to be honest. Just learning from different people, and then also when I was at uni as well, kind of different writing styles, and they didn't exactly teach you how to write songs, but showed you how other people were inspired, and that kind of, inspired different songwriting processes, and that's how my Little Town EP came about for that.
I think with songwriting, I always say write what you know.
Yeah.
And I think as well though, I always find it hard that artists, it's harder to kind of know who you are and what your own style is, given all the kind of demands and pressures when you step into the music industry, and you're supposed to sound like this, and you're supposed to do this, and so there's all that kind of stuff. So in order to be your best creative self, you need to put all that out you know. So I suppose when you're writing songs, do you write for yourself, or do you have those kind of things in the back of your mind when you're writing songs?
I think initially, so I would have said when I first started writing music, it was kind of like acoustic pop that I was writing. I was just kind of doing what I was listening to at the time and kind of what was popular when I was going to gigs and things like that. I've always written from a personal experience, so that's always just been whatever I was feeling at the time. I would just play guitar and just sing what I felt. Usually it was always about boys, a heartbreak or lust or love or whatever.
Boys do have like that. They do have the capacity to create material for music.
Yeah, it's true.
I always find. No, there's two boys in here shaking their heads.
Never.
Of our uses.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I all started, and then I went into uni. That's where I kind of started getting more into country. Like I always loved country music, but I just felt there wasn't really an audience for it at the time. But it's getting a lot more popular now, which is good for artists like myself. So I can play the music that I want to play, and people enjoy it. So yeah,
that's a very good question, because I think I don't want to say stigma, and I really don't feel like talking about it, because I think it's not even a thing that should be even questioned. But there is a lot of stigma around British country music, especially for whatever reason, I don't know. And as well as that, on top of that, there's like stigma when you say, well, I like country, and people go, it's like laughing, and you think, well, do you actually know country music? Do you know like the width and breadth of country music and what it's actually bringing in now?
mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I mean, we could go on forever as to what country is and what country isn't. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a debate for a whole other time, and we don't have time for that debate because it just goes on and on and on. But I think it's I love country because it's true songwriting, and I think that's at its core, and I don't think it's ever going to lose that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's its essence, so I pray it doesn't lose that. Speaking of singing, I hope, is this in the show, or is it just miraculously coming out? Look at that! As if I do it by magic.
Blue Peter. Blue Peter.
Here's one I made. I should say that the next time! Here's one I made earlier.
Probably do a wee one off of Little Town EP. This song's called Northern Lights. So yeah, I kind of wrote this. This was actually from a personal experience, but some of it, like I've actually never seen the Northern Lights, unfortunately.
Right.
But I think the main story was I was going out stargazing, and I ended up changing the lyrics to make it a bit cooler. So, but yeah, this is Northern Lights. I'm getting bored of this little town. I'm getting tired of the same old movies. Nothing to do and no one to see. It drives me crazy all this waiting around. It makes it easy whenever he's with me. 'Cause he smiles and says, baby,
far as saying you've started a Scottish country brand myself.
Scottish country brand.
I bet it got kind of Scottish vibes off that song too, like Scottish folk maybe.
I do quite like, yeah. So I think because I was brought up like around bagpipe music and things like that, I'm into trad music. So it's like kind of Scottish and Irish trad music and country music are my main. I guess I don't know if I'd say the Scottish side is an influence in my music, but maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's.
Well, maybe it's just me, but there was a bit of I did kind of feel a bit of like the Scottish traditional vibes, or maybe
Nice.
I'm just starting Scottish country.
Yeah.
Yes, see, there's a man in the corner there agreeing.
Dodie!
Dodie's here.
Dodie!
Dodie in the moho. That doesn't actually rhyme, actually, does it? No.
No.
And Dodie in the mohi doesn't rhyme either. Moving on. So you've just walked into a bit of madness. I'm getting a bit like, I don't know what I'm getting. A bit, this is day what? What day is this in the moho?
4. Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
No,
See?
Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 5 days. Take 5. Oh, take 4, sorry.
So I know people ask about inspirations, but I'm kind of rewording it into, is there artists that you look up to and take inspiration from as to how they write their music and the songs that they produce, and just their, I suppose, their work ethic and how they handle themselves in the industry?
I think I take a lot of inspiration from loads of different artists, different genres. I think like initially way back I was always kind of inspired, well, original Taylor Swift back in the day, like, you know, her country days. I think I always kind of loved that music, and I like her like pop vibe, but also with the country influences in it. So I quite like that. Luke Combs is my favourite artist of all time. So yeah, he does inspire me a lot. I just think he's just such a clever songwriter. Like, I just think he's amazing. Like, his work's so good. But I think it just really depends, because there's loads of different types of country that I like, but a lot of I've been listening to like a lot more like kind of country pop stuff recently. Even like some of Kelsey Ballerini's stuff, I quite like a lot of her stuff. But obviously a lot of her stuff is like very pop. But yeah, there's loads of artists, even Emily Roberts. I really like her just now. She's
raving about her at the minute.
Yeah, I really like her, but she's the complete opposite. She's like more kind of traditional country, or like bluegrassy country, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, I think the chicken song that she was that chicken song, was that?
Yeah, I was like going to bed with the chickens or something.
I've not actually listened to that properly, because yeah, I'm not really, so I can't really comment. But that song's very, it's very kind of,
Yeah.
I suppose, very traditional.
Mhm.
Whatever traditional country is these days. Because I know, I remember reading that Alan Jackson, who is like country, he's very traditional country.
Yeah.
He now says that traditional country, and its essence of years and years ago, just doesn't exist anymore now, which is a big sweeping statement for like a very established country artist to say. And I think that I don't think that's a fair thing to say. Because I think the traditional country is still there, because I can hear it in a lot of artists. Like I hear it new, but you have a Scottish flavour of it. I really like the Scottish flavour. It's like the northern. And then like I know somebody called Savannah Gardner. I don't know if you know her. She's got traditional country, but she kind of adds her own, I suppose, southern, because she's got an American accent, even though she's British or from the UK. But she has another kind of flavour to country, and there's lots of different artists that add their own country flavour. So I do think it exists. I just think it's very unique to each individual artist, and I think everybody brings something unique.
I think it's definitely because there are so many different genres of country, then you can be into so many different types of music, and you can be influenced by so many different types. So it's like just try to find your way in the industry with that. Because I think just now I'm starting to write a lot more songs. I had some writer's block for quite a long time, But yeah, I think some of the songs that I'm writing are more country pop, some of them are maybe a wee bit more country, but so it really just depends. And then obviously if I've got my band playing as well, then that'll bring out the more country influences as well, and things like that. So yeah, I think I'm just going to write whatever I want to write, to be honest, and then if people like it, then great, and if they don't, then
Go listen to
that. Exactly. Yeah, I think it's a hard thing trying to put yourself in a box.
That is.
So yeah, I think that's something that I've really struggled with, and I think now I've just decided I'm just going to play what I like playing. Hopefully there's a fan base for it.
Well, see, I was talking to, I think I was at Live in the Living Room in Bedford, and there was an artist there. His name's Finn Pearson, and he's got one of these, like, he's just a soft, gorgeous, like, it's one of those like you could just relax listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
And his songs are just really gorgeous and beautiful, and I was like, that's really, really lovely. And then at the other end of the right round there was Luke Edney, who's like, I could probably call him Kip Moore kind of esque, that kind of husk and grit, and do you know, he was just like, he introduced himself as an alcoholic, and do you know, he was just like totally out there, and his voice was loud and powerful and gritty and angst. And then when he sang, Finn Pearson went, I don't know if you can call me a songwriter or a singer now, but I'll sing this anyway for you. And that really stuck with me, because I was like, that's just like, you can't compare those styles, because they're very, very different. And one person, there'll be a fan base for Finn and there'll be a fan base for Luke, because music is subjective. And I said that to him, I said, you can't do that, because like, you're very different. And your voice was soft and pure and beautiful, and your songs were gorgeous. I just don't compare. But I think that's the industry you kind of sucked into comparing.
Yeah.
Because reviews are that kind of way inclined, and like they're always comparing. Like I brought in Scottish comparisons, but sometimes like I compared Luke Edney to Kip Moore. But like, you know, there's just all these comparisons, and I'm just like, you know, you are you, and you're unique, and you do what you do, and there'll be, you know, there's something for everyone. But I'm adding on, there's now an audience for every artist. Yeah. Because not everyone's going to like everybody. Yeah, it's just the way it goes. So yeah, that really stayed with me, I think.
Yeah, I think as an artist, you naturally do that. You compare yourself to other people. You're seeing everything on social media as well, especially like comparing your progress and stuff within the industry as well. Like that's kind of a thing that comes about sometimes, but then you need to remember that everyone's on their own journey and all in different stages in life as well, so just need to keep going with what you're doing.
Exactly. Get to know yourself and be confident in that, and then that'll show when you're performing, because there's just so much to it. It's just like a big maze. Anyway, we shall finish with the fun questions, which are very fun sometimes. I'll start with it's this or that. So it's love or money.
Love.
Oh, see, I think we should do a poll, because I think love is winning at the minute.
Oh, it's only guy.
Love will out.
Only guy that said money.
Yeah, only guy Surtees said money, and I was like, oh, why? But then he said, that because he's obviously wanting to make it in the industry, he's wanting to make it in country music, and he said that he needs money to do that. And then he said that love wouldn't help him get where he wants to go in his career, which is actually fair enough, in fairness now. But anyway, guitar or singing?
Singing.
That was a
quick.
answer.
Yeah, I think because I was a singer first, and then I taught myself guitar. I wouldn't say I'm a guitarist. Like I'm a singer that plays guitar, I would say.
That's really interesting, because normally people can't choose. They're like, oh, that's really hard. Songwriting or performing?
That's hard. Performing, I'd maybe say. I think performing, because then you can perform your songwriting, so then it's.
Oh, that's a very sneaky, right? That's a very sneaky Scottish lass, right there.
It has to be covered.
Let's see what she does with this next question, shall we? Now, this question is apparently cruel, but I don't think it's cruel. I think it's just, you know. DC Brown or Will Hope? We're asking this to everyone, so you know, it's just a light.
No comment.
You're supposed to say Will because you know him.
You're supposed to say DC because he's in the room. She's.
What about Dodie?
Diplomatic Scottish lass. What about Dodie?
Include Dodie in it. He's in the room.
He is in the room, but we're just doing DC versus. We did do Mark Deere versus Voice of a Woman, and I think Guy Surtees picked Mark, which I'm going to have to pull him up because I really don't like that. Anyway, thanks for on. I don't know if you know them, but we'll try it. Emilia Quinn or Kezia Gill?
I think it's hard to compare, like we
I
were
know.
just talking about, to come like they're
But I think
very
it's your
different.
that's the thing with fun questions is it's kind of your preference. I
Yeah,
suppose.
that's true.
It's not meant to be cruel. It's just meant to be your preference.
I don't know. I can't choose.
You don't have
I think
to.
they're both very talented in their own way. I think, and they've both got like their own thing going. So I think both got amazing songs.
They're in the same.
I'll leave that as a.
They're in the same management
Label.
company too. So
Are they?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, they're both managed by Donna Zanetti from Zed Imagine. So they're
Mm.
both kind of in the same. So they're in the same music
Yeah.
family. So you know it's
Same
fine.
record label.
Yeah, same record label,
Oh,
same
I didn't know.
same everything. So yeah. But I do, they are very different. Like Kezia's voice is like strong and powerful, and her performance like that, but she just gets better and better every time I see her. Like it's unbelievable. Like she just, like you see her and you think she's amazing, and you think she can't obviously get better. And then the next time you go and see her, she's like, oh, and then she just does it every single time. I don't know how she does it. She just ups her game, and not only that, like she's just funny. She's a comedian, and she just knows her job. Oh. I think she's maybe wanted to open it. And Emilia is like more, I suppose, more rocky, and what you say,
Mhm.
and just quite badass,
Yeah.
very badass. Is that it for the this and that's? Can you remind me, Dodie? Because I'm Dodie.
Dodie.
I'm calling you Dodie.
Do I look like Dodie?
This is
There's
really
a lot more hair going
sorry,
on.
sorry, audience. I'm just quite. This is day, whatever it is. Anyway,
Nothing.
I think that's it, isn't it? For the this and that's. Because I think.
Yeah, that is it.
I think that's it. I think. Anyway, sorry, I'm just tired. Do excuse me. Where can people find you if they want to know more about Erin Ponsonby?
You can find me on Spotify, Amazon, all those type of things. Also social media, Erin Ponsonby on Facebook, Erin Ponsonby Music on Instagram. I'm apparently no longer on Twitter anymore, so I don't know what happened with my account. So
Did they
you
just
get
take you
that
off?
wee- I don't know what
Did they
happened.
just X you?
I think it's like when X came out. So I'll
Just
need to look
X you.
into that.
Cut!
And then just YouTube as well, just Erin Ponsonby.
So what's next music wise? Is there anything you can divulge or?
Yeah, so at the moment I've been performing as a trio band for the last wee while, building that back up to a full band, so I've just confirmed my new bass player, so that's exciting. And now I'm just in the process of finding a new drummer. But in terms of next year, I've got a few gigs lined up. I'll be supporting the Look Homes experience in May, so that will be good. Also me and an artist that I met down at the Buck and Bull Festival last year, Abby Bell in the High Rise, she's from Edinburgh. We are going to be doing like a joint kind of headline gig, so I'll be playing in Glasgow and she'll be supporting me with another Glasgow artist, and then vice versa in Edinburgh I'll be supporting her. So that is in the early stages just now, but we've just got venues confirmed, so yeah, looking forward to that. It'll be March time, so yes, more if you just want to find out more about it, it's on my socials and everything.
There's very exciting stuff.
Yeah,
coming up.
looking
for you.
forward to it. And then also in June I've got playing audio, supporting Sean Finlay and Adam Smith. That's along with Robin Mead and the Laureates, so I'm excited for that one. That'll be good.
You're busy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get all the dates plugged in.
Is there going to be any music being released in the meantime as of when all this is happening?
Well, I'm hoping to get a song recorded. It was a song that I wrote years ago. I play at my gigs in Magnet, so I'm hoping to try to get that recorded and released at some point. And then I'm writing a lot of stuff just now, so hopefully there's potential for maybe a few singles or an EP again in future. We'll see. Which is good because I've not actually released anything since 2020, so it'll be good to get something out.
Thank you for visiting us thank you for visiting us in our little humble abode. It's been nice speaking with you. And go and check out Erin Ponsonby. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.